A suspected teenage terrorist is now facing justice as a grown man at Guantanamo Bay. It is the beginning of a proceeding that many in the White House thought would never take place. National correspondent Catherine Herridge tells us why.
At the Guantanamo detention camp, the president promised to close with a military commission system he criticized as a candidate. Canadian citizen Omar Kadr will be tried for war crimes. It is the first full trial of President Obama's military commissions, and his campaign supporters say it's a slap in the face.
I think it's enormously disappointing. Certainly not what we were led to expect.
And the modifications to military commissions, according to a former Guantanamo prosecutor, are cosmetic.
They are changed in a minor way. They are 99% the commissions that were approved by Congress and signed by President Bush in 2006.
Canadian Omar Kadr, shown here making a crude bomb, was picked up by the U.S. military on the battlefield in Afghanistan at the age of 15. He has spent a third of his life in military detention. His lawyers and human rights groups argue Kadr is a child soldier who was introduced to al-Qaeda by his father.
The theory there being is that they're essentially a minor and thus can't be considered fully responsible for their own actions.
But current and former military prosecutors say Kadr was a willing participant when he allegedly threw the grenade that killed Special Forces Sergeant Chris Spear and blinded another soldier.
In America, if Sergeant Spear was walking out of some Applebee's in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and some 15-year-old went out and murdered him, you can be quite sure that juvenile would be held accountable in adult court.
Defense attorneys for the 23-year-old Canadian tried and failed to keep his confessions out. They say this interrogation video shows Kadr complaining about his injuries and not getting proper medical care. Attorneys also allege he was questioned under the threat of rape and even death.
It's coercive, and in a normal court you wouldn't be admitting this testimony. It's really that simple.
But it was the U.S. military that saved Kadr's life after the firefight where the Special Forces medic Spear was killed. Military sources believe if the Kadr trial goes well, it could pave the way for 30 to 40 other cases in the military commissions, even including the 9/11 defendants. In Washington, Catherine Herridge, Fox News.